opening statement from Coach. We'll do questions for our student athletes, dismiss them, and go on to questions for Coach. Or you, Coach?
Just really, really happy, obviously, with the outcome, but more happy with our process and what we've learned and what we applied tonight. That was our whole last 2 days from Minnesota, was learning from some of the mistakes we made, cleaning everything up, and then everything was about applying and executing tonight. And we did that, I thought, at a high level against, I have so much respect for Iowa, their program. They're a really, really good team. And to be able to hold a team like Iowa to 57 points, I think speaks to what we're capable of defensively when we are locked in. And when we are, playing 5 people guarding the ball, we're sharper in our ball screen coverage. We had great urgency on shooters. They only had 5 threes. Lucy Olson had 10 in the first half and only 6 in the second half, which I thought Dell did an unbelievable job on her. KB playing 40 minutes against Stolke and O'Grady. That's hard. And then getting 17 and 14 on the other end. It's just, I could go down the line, but this is, there's certain games that mean a lot, and this is one that means a lot. We've been through a lot. There's been a lot of adversity thrown our way, but I can tell you one thing, these kids, the character of them, how they've come together, how they believed, how connected they are, it just makes me so happy, and I'm just so happy for them and proud of them.
Go ahead and raise your hand and we'll get your microphone for questions for student athletes. We've got Kendall Bostic on the left, Adalia McKenzie on the right.
I guess for both of you, Shauna, this one meant a lot. What did this mean for you guys to, obviously facing adversity the last couple of weeks, to get a ranked win here?
I think it's huge. Last game, I think we'd protected our home court pretty well this season, and then we, lost the last one to Washington. So I think we kind of came out with a newfound hunger just to kind of come back and make a statement again. But it's huge. Beating a ranked team at home is a great feeling, especially Iowa, because they're such a high caliber program, high caliber team. But I think it does mean a lot because I feel like people are looking at us as underdogs now, and there's a lot of people on this team that can step up at any moment and do anything for us and provide. Jazz has stepped into a huge role and done really, really good for us. So I think a lot of people are kind of counting us out, but I also think we made a statement today saying we may be down people, but don't count us out for anything.
For other players, Coach kind of mentioned, on radio, just feeling like before the game tonight, she sensed that there was a togetherness, a connectedness of this team going into tonight's game. What kind of did you have that sense maybe as players as well, and what kind of maybe led to that approach?
Yeah, I said the same thing. I just had a really good feeling as soon as I woke up and when I walked in the gym. And just the preparation, we prepared at a really high level, and I wouldn't want to go into battle with anyone else. And we have a dog mentality, so we really wanted this one, and you just know sometimes. And I just feel like our focus has been at a really high level collectively, and it showed tonight.
Del, I know it's been 10 months since you saw Lucy at the final in Hinkle. Did you take anything from that confidence-wise of knowing you could guard her and knowing that you were a tough guard for her?
Yeah, she's one of the best players in the country. She's a really good player, and I always guarding the best players, and it's a real challenge guarding her because she's really good. But I just remember that last game and remember the feeling because I know the first half of that game she was going off. And I hated that feeling, and I just want to make sure that I did my job and make it hard for her tonight.
Kendall, I don't think you subbed out and then a double-double, and you threw the ball, kind of had that moment after. What emotions swept over you for that, and what's the key to, you've got tape all over your leg, the key to being able to be productive with this kind of situation here?
Yeah, I feel like I've, all season played 40, so I'm kind of conditioned to do it. And it's also, as a fifth year, I know when I can take my breaks on the court, and knowing when I can't. So usually, sometimes you'll see me, if they got a fast break, you'll see me just kind of hang out. And it's just knowing how
I told you to that one time.
Yeah.
And I've never done that. I said, KB, just,
yeah.
and then I went, then go.
Yeah, so it's just kind of knowing when I can take my breaks and maximizing, because I am banging around with girls. The last couple games, everyone's been at least 6'5" in some position. So I gotta put a lot of my effort into defense. But yeah, I mean, just the emotion, like this is, like I love this game every year because I feel like everyone, every time Iowa goes somewhere, they have a big fan base. There's always a huge following. And so I think it's a big game for everybody, but just having that one at home, especially like in the 5th year, like it's huge. And just being able to go out there and play like we did and like bounce back like we did, it was huge.
For both of you guys, what clicked defensively tonight? And it's a season low points for them and shooting percentage.
I just think that we played at our standard. I feel like a couple games that we dropped, we just weren't doing that. But again, the preparation and just having that elite focus and executing on defense, high communication and awareness, knowing where shooters are. And I feel like we just did really good just pulling everything together defensively and just sticking to our standard.
Lots of teams have maybe a player or two that they need the ball in their hands when they need a bucket. It seems like it could be either of you guys and 3 or 4 others, and that's with players being injured. Is that rare to have that many players that can hit a kill shot, if you want to call it that?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of schools, in scout, you're like, they're going to get it to this girl in the last second. But like, we have so many plays for so many different people, and like so many people can play different positions that I think it's really hard to guard and really hard to scout. You have Dow bulldozing downhill. Jen and Jazz can both shoot and drive. Bren from the high post or the 3 or down low. Me down low or the high post. So I think there's just a variety, and I think it makes it really, really hard because everyone on this team is capable, brings their own different thing to the table. So yeah, I think it's pretty rare, but it's pretty cool.
You mentioned everyone's kind of counting you guys out, and you two have both at various points in your careers kind of been on teams where that's been the case. And do you relish maybe that being looked at like that, or like what's that do for you guys?
Yeah, we thrive in that, I think, and I think it just gives us a different mentality because we know what we're capable of. We do it every day in practice. We hold ourselves to a really, really high standard here, and sometimes I feel like we can get lackadaisical when we start winning games and we just kind of start rolling with it, but I think Washington and Minnesota were kind of a slap to the face. It's like, hey, like you gotta wake up, like this league's good, and I think that's good for us. And I also think, with everyone being out, people are just kind of counting us out because, people are playing that normally aren't, or people are a little out of position. And so I think it's really, really good for us to kind of know that people have that mentality of us because I think we thrive in that. Like, I think everyone just buys in and is like, no, like we're good. We're going to prove it to you. So.
I agree. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. And I feel like that helps us be humble and just work really hard. Right? When people are doubting you, we want to prove to ourselves and, and show everybody who we are. And I feel like it just helps us. Like Katie said, we thrive in it. And I feel like at times we appreciate it, So.